Hey everyone, you're listening to WAYO Rochester, 104.3 FM, and this is Live at WAYO. I'm your host this week. My name's Joey. I normally host Cosmic Debris on Monday mornings, 9 a.m. Just a couple reminders. You can live stream today's performance by going to wayofm.org and clicking watch if you would like to watch, or listen live if you would just like to listen live. Feel free to text in your questions for the band at 585-203-WAYO. And we're live in studio today with Comfort Object. Hey y'all, would you like to say hello?
Hello.
What's up?
Want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Molly Violet. I do guitar and vocals.
I'm Mimi. I play the bass.
And I'm Sky. I'm the drummer.
Well, welcome to WAYO.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having us.
Of course. So, let's get into a little bit of the history of Comfort Object. How did you guys start?
Sure. So the first band that I played in Rochester, which was not that long ago, was called Safety Break. And unfortunately, that band's not around anymore. Shout out Safety Break if any of y'all are listening. But during the time that I was playing with that band, I started to write some stuff on guitar that I felt like I like these songs, but they don't really fit with the vibe of the band. And so I kind of just through happenstance I met Mimi and then the first drummer that we played with. And we kind of just started prepping some of those songs for like a house show. And I kind of thought it was going to be a one-off thing. Like we called ourselves Molly's Diner. And it was kind of just a way for me to get those songs out of me and then go back to doing what I was doing with my other band. But we really liked playing together that first time, and then it just kind of went from there. And I couldn't be happier that it did.
You know, I was at that first show, and I low-key missed that Molly's Diner Waffle House logo.
Yeah, that was my first foray into graphic design is my passion. I believe I did it on my phone and I found the Waffle House logo, straight up screenshotted it, went on Instagram, used like the little dropper thing to get the shade of yellow and just crossed out the letters and then just put in Molly's Diner. I believed I did that, but maybe, I don't know. I know it was very crude. And I think actually originally we were going to wear a 60s waitress outfits for our first show. The direction of this band and the vibe of this band has changed a lot since then. We were doing more of like an indie rock thing that first show.
Well, speaking of direction, how about some of your influences?
So I would say the whole time, even like at the very, very beginning, I've always been really influenced by like the second wave of emo. So kind of stuff that came out, between the early 90s and roughly like, I guess, the turn of the millennium. Just off the top of my head, I was really, really into The Promise Ring when I started writing some of the songs we're going to play today. Get Up Kids were a big influence, especially the first album, 4 Minute Mile, or I don't know if that's their first album, but the one before, Something to Write Home About.
It's the first full length, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And Texas Is the Reason is another favorite of mine, even though they have very little, they had very little output, but that band was huge for me when I discovered it. So I really try to like stick to that sound, but at the same time, I, especially lately have been trying to bring more and more influence and like keep our sound like very close to emo's punk ties, I guess, and make sure that it's like very evident we are still a punk band. Like we associate with that ethos and have a desire to, foster change in the world and stuff. So I guess I'm yapping a little bit, but basically I take influences from a bunch of different places, but I'd say 90s emo was like the first one that I really like gravitated toward.
Awesome. So, would you like to keep yapping, or would you like to play a song?
I think we should play a song.
All right, what are we going to hear first?
So this is actually a newer song. It's called Stereotype Threat. The concept of Stereotype Threat is like when you belong to a group that is stereotyped and you deliberately act outside that stereotype because you don't want to get like boxed in. But sometimes stuff that like for instance, as a trans woman, you have a lot of like discourse online where people will kind of like make fun of the person they were when they first started transitioning and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I wore the Amazon basic skirt or whatever. Like the same like black mini skirt that stereotypically like every trans woman gets when they first transition. But this song is kind of about like how, all trans folks need to stick together regardless of whether you're in your first week of considering yourself trans or you're years and years in, because ultimately the forces that seek to oppress us do not care how refined your style is or whatever. They are anti-trans no matter what. So Stereotype Threat. One, two, 1, 2.
Awesome. I can really hear the Texas is the reason influence there.
Oh, that makes me really happy to hear. Shout out Texas is the reason.
Absolutely.
I know y'all are listening.
They are. You know what? I hope Norman is listening at least.
Awesome. So should we go on with our set list?
That's up to you. You're the one driving this.
Ooh, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go on, then we'll move on. This next song actually was from that. Like, we played this song at our very first show. And this is actually, I think, the first song that I like wrote by myself. And it's called Protector. And it's about how a couple of years ago when I first came out. I was in a really long-term relationship, and due to my coming out, that relationship had to dissolve. And I just felt very complicated about it. And this is something that, as I got to know more and more trans folks, like, this is a story that so many people I know have lived through or are actively living through. So if you are going through something like this right now, this song's for you. It's called Protector. You said you heal violently and all at once. A perfect storm, a neutron bomb, a bandage ripped and your wounds are gone. You said your life depended on a boy who's strong, one who stands in front, scares them off, and makes you feel nice and small. You didn't want a girl, I'm no use to you. You didn't want a girl, you needed someone new. A protector, a knight in shining armor, not a shard of which is soft enough to let go of his honor. He is perfect. He is perfect. You said you needed time to grieve the boy I was, the boy who gave himself bruises, the boy who hated the mirror, the boy with so many uses, the boy who wasn't a queer. And to your credit, you came around and said you'd love my sunflower eyes, no matter who I was or how long I cried. But the damage was done, and I thank you. You didn't want a girl, no, you moved along. You didn't want a girl, I was never strong enough to live for everyone else, to wear a mane on my chin, to never say I need help, to hold my tears when I waver, to promise to be your savior. I'm on the role of protector, but I hope that he's perfect. He is perfect.
Hey, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to WAYO LP Rochester, 104.3 FM, and this is Live at WAYO with Comfort Object. Feel free to text in your questions for the band, 585-203-9296. We love questions. We would love to get some.
All right. So first of all, Mimi, you killed that impromptu bass solo that gave you there. For those of you listening, my guitar jack came unplugged during that song, but it sounded kind of cool. I don't know.
It worked. We recovered.
It worked. So that was Protector, a very early song from us. That's on our demo EP that we released in July. And the song coming up is called Charybdis, and we just released this as a single on Friday. So we'll go ahead and take it away, unless you have questions for us, Joey.
I don't think I have any right now. Actually, I do. Was the artwork for this single also done on your phone?
Yes, it was. Yes. Okay. So the artwork for this single is like I took all the hormone pills in my medicine cabinet, which is like several months up to a year's worth, and I dumped them all out on my coffee table, and then I put little candy bracelet letters in that say comfort object. And then I took a picture of it with my phone, which has a slightly broken camera. And then I like edited it. I put like some effects on it. And I thought it looked cool. So
great.
yeah, we needed a new logo. It was actually just a logo at first, and I decided to use it for artwork for this.
I think it looks cool too. So
That means a lot coming from like a real photographer. I do not own a camera.
I mean, you have a phone. Phones have cameras.
True. Mine works half the time. So, Charybdis. No future. No past. She sails with
That is a rockin' one.
Thank you. We think so too. We like this one.
So I think I already know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it. Who won, the emos or the stoners?
Well, this how do I need to be like a politician and dip around the question.
Yeah.
We did, in fact, take a poll. I'm pretty sure the stoners won that one.
Some may say that that when there was a vote taken at the end of the show after the second stoner band I played, which is Goat Farm, Mimi and I's other band, some might say that the audience voted for the stoners. That being said, I also know from my knowledge of statistics that when you present people with two options and they're both good options, they're probably going to go with the second one that they were offered. So who really knows? But some would say the stoners won. Some might say that.
It's all right. I'm not sad about it or anything.
That was a very diplomatic answer.
Of course, we keep it clean over here. But we didn't lose.
I mean, I think everyone won.
That's also a good diplomatic answer. Actually, though, for those of you who did not know about this show, we did a show called Stoners versus Emos because Mimi and I's other band, Goat Farm, what month are we going to be on here with that?
March 2nd.
March 2nd. Goat Farm's going to be on here, so y'all should tune in then as well. But we wanted to do a show with our two bands, but they're very different genres. And so we were like, well, what if we got another emo band and another stoner metal band, and we played off of that difference. So we put on a show called Stoners versus Emos, and it was super fun. Like one of my favorite shows that I've played ever, probably. But yeah, we didn't win. The stoners won. People can I say weed on the radio, right? Can I say that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. People like
it's
weed.
Legal.
I was
Riczi,
about to say
Riczi
it's
says
legal.
yes.
It's legal.
We're getting a thumbs up from the booth. We're good.
Haha, weed. Am I right? Okay, that was that was the longest-winded way I could have answered that. But yeah. So unless you have another question for us, which we're happy to answer, we're gonna move on to our next song.
I would like to know if you could play a show with any band, who would it be?
Oh man. I have a couple of answers. I can narrow it down to two. One that I would love to happen would be there is a musician out of I believe it's North Carolina whose music that I've actually been really inspired by called Peach Rings. You should check her out on Spotify. She writes some really cool kind of emo pop stuff that I think especially the earlier stuff I wrote for this band, I was like, oh, that's awesome. It's music written by a trans femme about being trans, and it's in a music genre that I like, and I think that kind of got me doing it more. So I think it would be awesome if she were on tour in Rochester, if we could play with her. That would be a very personally fulfilling thing for me. And then I don't know, another one would probably be Thursday. I'm actually going to see Thursday on Tuesday in Buffalo. Thursday is one of my favorite bands. And I don't know, that song Charybdis that we played, I feel is super Thursday inspired. So if we were to open for a bigger band or a band that was quite big at one point, I would go with them.
I mean, Thursday, the last time they played here, played in a room that you've also played in.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that could potentially happen.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Jeff Ricky hit me up. Well, that's his name, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Also, we have a question from someone that's not me.
Okay.
This person would love to know more about your songwriting process.
Oh, that's a good question. Generally, my songs will start off with riffs, so I'll just get out my guitar at home and not necessarily planning to write a song, but I'll just like kind of mess around, and a lot of the time I'll, like that it ends up being a song. A lot of the time I'll find something that sticks with me and kind of gets in my head, and then I'll voice memo that on my phone so that I can come back to it if I need. And usually I'll kind of sketch out more or less the musical structure of the song before I write lyrics. And usually on the same note as that, I actually have like a list of song names that I think would be good in my phone. Because emo song names, like they never use like the actual lyrics, or like very rarely. We don't do the full sentence song titles, but like I like to go a little abstract with it. So I'll pick a song title that I want to write a song based off of, and then I'll like I'll go from there and kind of write lyrics. So that's how like the Stereotype Threat one came to be, because I was watching a video essay and they explained what Stereotype Threat was, and I was like, oh, I really identify with that, because sometimes I feel like I really sometimes shy away from doing things that I think, naysayers would consider stereotypical or like basic stuff for like trans femmes to do, which is an example of that concept. So basically music first and lyrics second, usually, unless something really bad happens to me, and then I'll probably write some lyrics first and the song will come later.
Now, do you usually write, at least initially, by yourself, or do you bring the rest of the band in for that when you're writing music?
Thus far, it's been pretty much just me. Mimi and Sky are both in other bands. We're all in other bands, but like this is my main one. And I guess like since Mimi and I play in each other's bands, we kind of have this thing where it's like we both like mostly creatively control the band in which we do lead vocals. So like I write a lot of the songs myself and stuff. And sometimes I will make a demo where I play like the bass and stuff, but generally I send a demo to Mimi and Sky, and then I like the fact that they do their own thing with it. I usually am not super particular about how I want the drum part to sound or the bass part to sound. Like I might have a couple little things where I'm like I envision this as like a counterpoint or whatever, but generally, that's why it's not Molly's Diner anymore. I'm trying to trying to have it be more of like we're a band. These are our songs. They're not my songs.
Absolutely. All right. Would you like to get into another song?
Yeah. Just checking our time. So we were gonna play. Let's see, 1, 2. We're gonna play 5 more songs, and we have 30 minutes. So if we go quick, we could probably do it, right?
Yeah. You could even, if you wanted to play 2 straight in a row if you wanted to.
Let's see. Well, I have short things I want to say about both of these next ones.
Okay.
But this next song we're going to get into is called Funhouse. And this is another newer one, and it is about how I feel like as I've, come to living life as a woman and being recognized by like the public as a woman more and more, it's like not only did I encounter like the stigmas that generally apply to trans people, but also I feel like the general body image, unfair body image expectations that are applied to women as a whole, in many ways kind of like boost with the trans stigmas, to where I feel like pressure to be like a certain body type and a certain level of like beautiful in order to be seen as a woman. That's something I've struggled with my entire time transitioning. And this is a song about that.
have another question.
Sorry for the inquisitive guitar sound.
We have a question that is inquiring what is your favorite show that you've played and what made it the most fun?
Oh, man. I mean, honestly, Stoners versus Emos was my favorite show, but I already talked about that. So let me think. Another one that was super fun was Sky's first show with the band. We played a house show, and we played after them. But this was the band Flower Kitty's first show. Shout out Flower Kitty. Mimi is also in that band. She's in a lot of bands. Yeah, and Flower Kitty's killing it now. So it was awesome to be at their first show, and like it was just, first of all, love a house show. The band I was in before this, the Safety Break, we practiced in a basement where we could have shows. So I loved playing in that basement. Those were like the most fun shows. And now, you know, we play a lot of awesome DIY spaces, but house shows hit different. This was a really fun one. It was packed wall to wall. The audience was super enthusiastic, and it was just vibes all around were amazing. And it was a Halloween show too, so it just is a bug.
What did everyone else dress as?
I was a nun because Flower Kitty, we all went as nuns. So I just kept that. I kept my habit on, and then it actually came off during our set. And then I was like, breaking free from this religious oppression.
My costume was kind of lame. Drumming and fancy Halloween costumes don't really mix well, so I kind of just phoned it in and wore like a skeleton t-shirt. And then I don't know what possessed me to do like a full face of like skeleton makeup, but like, of course I made that dumbass decision. So I had grease paint like dripping into my eyes through the whole set. Never again.
I mean, it looked cool.
It looked great, yeah.
I would agree. I think the melting made it look cooler. That's actually our band photo on, if you were to go to our Instagram, Comfort Object Band. You don't have to. You don't have to do it, but you could. That's our profile picture. It's us after that set, and then like I'm in my like bug costume, and Mimi's dressed as nun. This guy's got paint dripping all over them, and then I was like, we got to do an emo one. So like we look very serious. Okay, guys, now an emo one. By the way, and we can keep talking, but I'm going acoustic for this next one.
Ooh, acoustic. What is this next one?
This is called Once, and this is the B-side to Charybdis. Sorry, I gotta reroute my headphones.
We got a shout out in the meantime. Shaw says, comfort object all day, baby.
Love you, Shaw.
Hey, Shaw.
Wait, I'm so sorry. I didn't have my headphones on. What? Could you repeat it?
Shaw sends a shout out and says, comfort object all day, baby. And,
yeah.
And says, love you, Molly.
Oh, thank you, Shaw. Love you too. Shout out Shaw Redcorn. Amazing person and also amazing hip hop producer, sampler, rapper extraordinaire. And really good skateboarder too. So this song is called Want. This is another very early song that it's maybe, I don't know, like I look back on it and I'm like, this song is a little like on the nose. It's a little like literal, but at the same time, I keep coming back to it and it keeps coming back in my head. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. I can hear my guitar. We good? Okay. I wanna be beautiful. Don't wanna be beautiful for a boy that's a girl now. A platitude hit with half formed, a sick puppy. I wanna be beautiful. Don't wanna be too you, the drunk guy who struck out with everyone else at the bar that night, 'cause I'm close enough. I don't want your pity, I want you to see me for me. Don't talk to me like I'm broken, I'm not, I'm finally free. I'm not the clown you see, I don't have a disease. When I smile in the mirror, I wonder what they don't see. I'm beautiful. I wanna be lovable. Don't wanna be acceptable, an eternal acquaintance, a fair enough friend if a little high maintenance, a cool chick. I wanna be lovable. Don't wanna be trustable, someone you can depend on to water your plants or care for your cats if you need her. 'Cause this plant needs water too, I'm sick of relying on the rain. If you tap my roots, you'll find there's more to me than pain. I'm not trying to be crass, conceited, or vain. Just want some curiosity to be thrown my way. I'm beautiful. I'm lovable. I'm beautiful. I'm lovable.
If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Live at WAYO on WAYO LP Rochester 104.3 FM. You can tune in to watch by going to wayofm.org, clicking watch. Feel free to text in your questions for the band, 585-203-9296. Yeah, let's get some more questions. So, anything else you guys would like to talk about?
Sorry, I had a headphone crisis.
Headphone crisis. That should be a new song title.
Oh yeah. Once I get my phone after we leave the booth, I'm putting that in there.
It's a good one.
Is there anything else that we want to talk about? Well, we have all our bands, including ones that like our other bands, we're all playing a show together this Saturday. Mimi, do you want to tell them a little bit about it without expressly telling them that they should go to it?
Right. So it's happening at Flying Squirrel Community Space, starting at 5 and going to about 10. It's a benefit for Planned Parenthood. There's going to be lots of local bands, especially I tried to feature, obviously, my friends, but also bands that are fronted by women, trans people, queer people. It is 2 days before the inauguration. So we're going to gather in community and raise money for Planned Parenthood, who provides a lot of literally life-saving services. And we need to keep these services accessible and free to everyone who needs them. So yeah, Flying Squirrel, Saturday the 18th, starting around 5. That's a thing that's happening.
Sounds good. Also, this is a good segue into a question from Izzy, who would like to know, what is everyone's favorite local bands?
I have a list that I'm going to shout out at the end, but that's explicitly emo bands. So I'm going to give bands that are not necessarily emo bands. Let's see. I shout out Bad Bloom.
Yeah, I was going to
were-
say Bad Bloom.
Yeah. They're awesome, and I feel like before I started going to like a lot of shows, I still went to their shows. Shout out my two close friends and roommates bands, Fourth Dominion and Pluck. Also lovely music from the area. Anybody else want to go?
Sure, why not? I mean, besides obviously like Molly and Mimi's other bands, there's a couple like in Rochester that I really enjoy seeing. Black Moss is freaking awesome. Those guys are great, and Tight Schedule as well. They're pretty great. On the Cinder, I recently started listening to a ton in like probably October, November, but they're kind of like Rochester, Buffalo, back and forth. But I really love those guys, and the one of the lead singers, Mike, nicest dude I've ever met. Like, he's freaking great. Oh, and shout out Pretty Good State University. They're also from Buffalo, but I've been banging their album like nonstop since September. It's so great. Go listen to it.
Oh, I thought of one more. Fox 45 is a favorite of mine. They got that stoner doom sound that I love, and so they're a huge like inspiration for me personally. Love them. Shout out Fox 45.
I'll echo that one. I've known Amanda for a long time, and Fox 45 is pretty much a don't miss band for me.
Yeah.
Also, see, this Bad Bloom didn't like this talk when I did this with them, but Alyssa wants pedal talk. So, what are everyone's favorite pedals?
So I'm rocking right now the I think it's a Korg tuner that Alyssa sold me into the, I believe it's 101. There may be more, but the Tube Screamer made by Scar Markham, shout out, also known as Flower Pale Kids. So that's my overdrive. Then I have, I'm like on my tiptoes right now looking down at my board. I have that going into the Black Mass 1312 Distortion. Absolutely love that pedal. It is also trans colors. Into the Walrus Juliana Chorus. Into a off-brand reverb.
My turn. I'm not a gearhead, so yeah. But these are my pedals. I have a Strobo Stomp tuning pedal. Apparently, it's like supposed to be the most accurate. Then I have my compressor pedal. It's a EBS multi-comp. It's a recommendation from my buddy Nick. Shout out Nick of Blue Envy and Bug Day. And then I have a mini Ibanez Tube Screamer that I just recently purchased from Molly. Shout out Molly of Comfort Object and Go Firm. And then I have a bass overdrive. It's the ODB3 from Boss. This was the first pedal I ever bought for my bass. It's like, I feel like it's an essential to have. So yeah.
Wu-Tang forever.
Wu-Tang is for the children. Would we like to go into another song?
Sure. Let's see. With our time left, I think we can do these last three if we talk minimally between. So this next one's called Rubber Cement. That's such a fun one.
That is a fun one.
Hopefully that got y'all moshing in your living rooms a little bit. These next couple songs are moshers too. So these last two songs we're gonna play are off our 2024 demo. It's the first and last tracks, Autumnal and Fibromyalgia Song. I think we can easily do that in 10, but are there any questions before we...
There are no more questions, no.
All right, awesome.
Are you going to play them back to back, or you want to take a mic break between?
I think we can go back to back.
Okay. Then let's do those back to back, and then we'll wrap things up.
Awesome. A lichen on a tree, our beings bind together, your nutrients reviving me, full of life, the nectar's sweet, I got the seconds cause I know this moment just so fleeting. On that hazy night we can't see past the silken fog, such a beautiful uncertainty among the clouds. I've never seen. Your soul goes from your body, your siren eyes devour me. I'm a shell, a barren creek. The beauty of this moment rains on me, revives the stream. On this hazy night we can't see past the silken fog. Such a beautiful uncertainty among the clouds. the coastline. The rain has passed. It's myself, it was never that bad. Deny my past, deny my future. I'll always heal, but I'm never so sure. 27, that's where 6 years the wiser and yet so dumb. I live inside my burning. I live inside my brain. I live in the electric chair. I break until I'm dead. I live inside my furnace. I live inside my friend. I live in the electric chair. I break until I'm dead. Shout out Alyssa and Meadow. Shout out Mom, Dad, Addison, and Destiny. I love you. Shout out Beatrice and the whole web fishing crew. Shout out Home Videos, Kind of Kind, Pick Number 3, my lord, Kelley Cousins, Feast of Love, Syracuse Screamo. Shout out WAYO and all my friends. Trans Liberation forever, Rochester Emo forever, and it's still Free Palestine.